Hello y'all, I'm using my Insta360 Go Ultra to do exactly what I wanted to do with you guys today. So I am in my studio. I built a temporary studio because I had an event to do for Amy Porterfield, which I'm so grateful to her. We are currently in the process of moving, and so we're downsizing our spaces. I think I need to do a whole video to catch you guys up on that. But so I had an event with her, or I spoke at one of her events today, and I am in such awe just of her and her amazingness. If you don't know who she is, which you should know, I will probably link all about her down below. Amy, you are the real MVP. Anyway, so I want to show you guys just how we set up easily for this. And of course I have my headphones in, and I don't know why I have them in, but anyway, I'm gonna show you guys like just what I've built out temporarily, what that kind of looks like. I love my studio. You guys know I spend so much time in here. P.S. I'm using pure video mode in here because it's kind of dark. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the result of what it looks like just on camera, and then we're gonna come back and go through the space itself. So let's get into it. All right, y'all, it is Zaylee. How are you guys doing? Oh my gosh, listen, I'm in just such a beautiful, magical moment. Someone that I have admired for so many years had me speak at their event, and I wanted to make sure that our studio was just all ready for that event. And so we are moving, and the studio is still not how it's supposed to be just yet, but you know, we got it to a place where I felt just comfortable and happy to present for her. You guys know I'm a camera confidence coach, so when I think about video and video content, it needs to look good, okay? So I wanted to get my bookshelves back up. You guys know my plans. I had a really large, beautiful studio. We are currently in the process of downsizing because, hello, okay? We just had too much space, two creatives living in that much space. We thought we wanted a house. And so we rented a house and decided, okay, we're gonna try this or test it out to see if we wanna buy a house. And so we moved from high-rise living over to house living. And no, friends, no, there's so many things. However, it's just not our cup of tea. Maybe it is your cup of tea. However, back to the studio. So studio updates. First of all, I still need to clean the wires up in here. This was just temporary for Amy's event, and I'm still reeling and so joyful from that whole experience. However, yeah, we have a few things going on behind the scenes. I have some lights around me that I kind of want to share with you guys. And I also want to share my teleprompter setup, which is really interesting. But it was extra interesting because I was using Canva today just to move back and forth in between my slides, but also maintain eye contact with the people on the other side. You guys know I use eCam Live to record, and I have a freebie for you. If you are looking to get into eCam Live, that's what I record all of my videos with that are not recorded with the Insta360 Go Ultra or the Osmo Pocket 3, because you guys know I love these cameras as well. Y'all, let's get into it. Let me take you around the studio. I'm going to be using my Insta360 Go Ultra, like I just showed you, and we are going to go around the studio and just talk about what I liked, or why I did what in certain places. And then the second part of the video is we're going to go through my whole Canva setup for this because I had a lot of fun with it. So let's go. All right, let's get into it, friends. So this is a really small room. I feel like I'll put the measurements of the room somewhere in the video or down below. Keep in mind, we're filming on pure video mode on the Insta360 Go Ultra, but I wanted to take you guys behind the scenes and show you just the behind the scenes of it all. So this is where I was sitting. And so I have my microphone. My microphone is connected to a Mac Mini. I love streaming with a Mac Mini. You guys know I always say this. And so I have a really big monitor right here. I might downsize this monitor. I'm still figuring it out. And I use my MacBook as my teleprompter instead of using my teleprompter as my teleprompter, only because I had to see Amy and look at her directly. And so in order to do that, I needed to have her on my prompter. So I apologize for if this video is not super clear. Like I said, I'm using pure video mode on the Insta360 Go Ultra, so it's dark in here. Maybe I can even turn a little more light on. Hopefully that is helpful. Now I have this overhead light We might downsize this light as well because it is really large, but I love it. It just makes me look so good, I'm not gonna lie. I've had it for a few years. I also had an Elgato key light. I shared on Instagram, we had to get blackout blinds to put behind this window. This studio space is very bright actually during the day, but I couldn't risk not having control of my light. So I don't use natural light if I'm doing an event like that because my camera settings would be everywhere. I also had a side cam that I actually never even used during the presentation, but I used this camera and absolutely loved it. I was able to see her, talk to her, and then keep an eye on what my presentation looked like up here because we were streaming through Restream on their end, right? So for me, I was using eCam Live, which I absolutely love. I took the time to, I'm still not done. You can see down here is a little messy because I haven't gotten back into it just yet. This all happened in 2 or 3 days, to be honest, but I was able to put my bookcase back together. You guys know I have some faux plants. Everyone usually thinks they're real. You can see I still have packing boxes over there. The bathroom is, it's a mess in here, but it was such a joy to do this event and present. So this monitor is what I use. You can see it. Oh my gosh, entrepreneur event. It was so good. And so this is a key piece. Having the Elgato prompter was a key piece. I didn't use this microphone. It's just on this desk. You can see that I'm using my desk as a tripod, basically. Does that make sense? Like, and then, you know, sometimes I'll scoot my chair up to it and work on it. But I'm basically using my desk as a tripod right now. And before in my old studio, I would actually I had so much room that I had a whole workspace and work desk and things like that. This space is a lot tighter, so we're just doing different things in here. But I wanted to show you guys what it looks like behind the scenes. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. I'll also link my equipment guide for my studio down below so that you guys can see just all the things and all the moving parts. I have another Elgato key light right here just to light me up nicely. And if you want to know how I use eCam, I have a whole course on it. Maybe I'll link that down below as well. Just putting a me sitting clip so that you can see where I was sitting and, you know, what that looked like, especially in the other video, especially when I show the camera view video so that you're able to see what it looks like. And yeah. Now I'm going to move into Canva and how I use Canva to present. Okay, I want to show you guys what this looks like. I'm currently using my Osmo Pocket 3. I have it connected to eCam Live, and it's going to allow me to just show you guys what is happening right now. So in the studio right now, you can see, like I pointed out before, I do have that Elgato prompter on the left. Under it, I do have my MacBook. And on the right, I do have a large 4K monitor. Now I'm going to take you onto the 4K monitor and show you what it looks like as in the screen share. I'm going to share with you all the things that I have open so that I make sure to have my presentation. The first thing that I did was I also downloaded this from Canva, but it's not a must, just in case, you know, Canva decided it wasn't going to work. But this is Canva right here. I also have my Elgato Stream Deck pedal opened. So it's a Stream Deck application, but I can select any Stream Deck that I have. I have 3. And so in this instance, I was using the Stream Deck foot pedal, and you can see that I have my 2 cameras on either side. So I can use that foot pedal and switch between those 2 cameras. One is a front facing view and one is a side facing view. And I can also screen share directly from there. So that was what I was using to go between cameras and share my screen as well. Now, the other thing that I want to share is how I use Canva throughout the process. And so within Canva, if you're familiar with it, you can present inside of Canva. And for this situation, I would go to presenter view. Now, what presenter view does is it opens up a window that I can put into another monitor. So this is the presenter view window right here. And I am able to slide that off into another like monitor or place that I want to work in. And so remember, I have the prompter that is connected to this whole process. So you can see that that screen is inside of the prompter now. And sometimes I do leave it in there. I do not always use my MacBook as a part of this ecosystem. Sometimes I leave it in there and I can go in and you can see me scrolling. So you're able to see me scroll. Well, the people are not able to. They will literally see what is actually on the screen. So let's go back to what is on that screen. So for them, they are usually seeing like what is in my main screen. So I make sure in eCam to have my primary display as the thing that I want people to see. You can also change that to different applications or whatever it is you want to show. But for me, I want them to see what is on this big monitor because that's what's going to matter most throughout the process. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter full screen mode, and this is on that main display. And so you can see that actually opens up and I can flip through my slides and I'm seeing it just like you're seeing it on the main display, but I want to show you what it looks like on the Elgato prompter. So I'm just going to flip through and show you what it looks like here. And then I can also show you what it looks like on the prompter itself. P.S. I kept the Stream Deck open just because sometimes it just switches. I don't know why that happens, but sometimes it will switch to profile. And for this situation, I did not want that to happen, so I just left it open. But it wasn't visible to everyone on the screen as they were seeing that full screen. Now, the other messy thing is every time you get out of full screen with Canva, you do have to go in here and present again and do that whole process over again, which is a tiny bit annoying. I am not gonna lie, but I'm gonna put it back over here and it snaps into place. And what I'm gonna do is just show you what that looks like. Again, you can see it here. I can also switch that over. So I'm gonna switch over and show you what that looks like. I'm gonna go to secondary display. And so you're seeing what the prompter actually looks like, right? So I'm gonna go back over here to the camera. Again, you can see me scrolling through it, but I'm gonna show you live what that looks like when I'm scrolling through it. So you can see it here. This is what it looks like. Now, here's what I end up doing sometimes. I end up making the text really big. I don't need to see the slides as much. I love that I can see what slide is coming up next. That is always very helpful. So for me, I want to make sure that I have things that are going to prompt me to speak on each slide because you don't always want your slide to be filled with words as it can be very distracting sometimes. So I want to make sure that I can see this from afar. So one of the things that I'm going to make sure I do here is I'm going to make this text bigger because the prompter can be a bit far away, right? So I have it at the maximum amount now. And, and even if I show you what that looks like on the other side, you can see that that text over here is way bigger now on the screen, right? So that means I can see it from far away. So now that you've done that, the other thing that you want to do is you will be able to enter a full screen from here, and that way you'll see exactly how it looks on both screens. So I am going to make sure I minimize that. And you're going to be able to see, if you look on my screen, you'll see that big screen and you see it switching. So I can see that, but I can also see inside of my prompter all of my prompts, and I can see what slide is coming up next specifically. Now, this video is getting a little bit too long. I don't want to hold you up. There's one more thing that I do want to show you. This is where you can take eCam and put it into the prompter, and I can go full screen on that. And so it fits inside of the prompter itself as well. So if I want to see myself, I am able to do that. Hey guys, hey, I changed my clothes, so don't mind that. But I feel like this video is getting too long, and I do have other ways to show you how I'm using Canva and that presentation mode. Let me know in the comments if it's something that you want me to do a full video on, aside from the entire studio setup and all that jazz. Listen, it was so fun having you here. This is literally my little setup right now, and I feel like it's mighty and powerful, but I want to know your thoughts and what you think. If you're a creator, if you're creating or teaching or an educator, and you are interested in doing these kinds of things, I would love to know. It's so helpful to understand where you guys are, and that helps me make more content for you that is just aligned with what you are looking to learn. All right, guys, I love you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.